know what it is. It's the Monday night online open mic presented by the legendary Nuyorican Poets Café. I will be your host for the evening. I am Elemen2al. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. We've been doing this for 161 weeks now, y'all. Can you believe it? 161. Gosh, I really 161 weeks now, y'all. But here we are, and we're going to continue to keep it going strong from 161 to the next 161. We do this every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number is on your screen, 279-995-364. Come and join us in the Zoom. It is truly a different world inside the space. Connect with the community. Listen, it is really, really a different space, right? It's truly, and everyone in here can tell you it is truly a different space when you interact inside the Zoom compared to on social media. So make sure you're plugging in. All right, we do this every week for 161 weeks, thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by plugging into nuyorican.com/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Listen, every dollar counts, okay? Every dollar counts in helping us continue to do what we do. So we truly, truly appreciate you. All right, make sure you are plugging in with the super tech of the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Make sure you are plugging in with the squad. Listen, it's Ray Jane, host of the Thursday night online open mic, aka Thunderlun Thursdays. Make sure you are plugging in with the Storm Gods in the building. Paul Conqueso, host of Voices and Vibes. We will talk about them a little bit later. Also, make sure you are plugging in with myself. It is all over the place, man. Listen, Storm Force season, it is going down all over the place. All right, this week's theme, y'all, loyalty or sangre. Sangre is another word for blood, all right? So I'm looking for, I would love to hear, what does loyalty mean to you, right? What are you loyal to, right? Does love or blood equal loyalty, right? Really, does love equal blood? Does blood equal loyalty? Like it all goes around, right? And how is loyalty ingrained into our blood, right? I'm looking forward to totally hearing everything that you have to say this evening. If your poem is not on theme, that is totally cool. We are still hoping to hear your incredible artistry. Next week's theme, y'all, coming at you, coming up. Here we go, y'all. When they reminisce over you, my God. Reconciliation. So this one is about thinking back, right? This is tell us who you enjoy remembering, right? Living in the joy of memory, right? Write a poem to the crossroad, even, right? Reconcile with a tough decision, right? Which may have opened the door or set the stage for the poet that you are right now, right? So again, when they reminisce over you, my first thought is always Bob Marley, right? Because just when I think about Bob Marley, it always puts me in a beautiful state of being and mind. And there was a crossroad for me at that time when I found and started to hear Bob. So again, it's double fold for me. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you folks create next week. Again, if your poem is on theme, that's fantastic. If it's not, we still look forward to hearing what you have to share with the community. Let's keep it going so we can get to the poetry, y'all. Let's get to these rules. Yeah, damn it, we got some here too. All right, poets, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see the beautiful expression that goes into your poetry delivery. And, you know, folks know me. I love to freak out my backgrounds. Listen, all of that expression and emotion are the things that people will always connect to. So make sure you're turning your cameras on. Listen, all of it, we are here for it. All right, poets, have your poems ready. All right, if you're going analog, make sure you dog ear the page. If you're going digital, have the poem, you know, connected and ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, right? I love music, man, for real. I've been loving music since the womb. If you are into music and you want to use music, please make sure it's original music. We don't want the agents of the interweb to interfere with our streams, so please make sure your music is original. All right, poets, you got 3 minutes to rock, all right? Plus a 3-minute intro. Let the folks know how they can connect with all the incredible things that you do. Plus, change your Zoom name to coincide with how you want people to connect with you on social media, you know, and when you're done rocking or before you rock, make sure you put your information in the chat so folks can copy and paste your information. Really, it's all about connection. We are all about community here. I will continue to say, and you will hear me say throughout the night, this is the greatest community of the world, and we will show you why. All right, folks, you hear that time, right? 9:30 for the babies has arrived, right? Because there are some explicit lyricists in our community. There are some powerful poets that may trigger flashbacks, which may not be comfortable, but the founders of our community were proponents of freedom of speech, and we are going to continue to make sure it flows through the veins of everything that we do. Therefore, there is no censorship beyond any hatred or ism that people may use to exploit or manipulate people, which will not, I say not, be tolerated. There is no censorship. There is no censorship. All right, thou hast been warned. Okay, I continue to say poetry is a living and breathing trigger warning. All right, you walk into an open mic, you're going to hear everything from Little Orphan Annie to The Orphan. Plug in. Is going down this evening, y'all. You just happen to plug in to the hypest night of the week, and we are about to show you why. This is truly a call and response space. After the poets rip, you are going to see this pop up on your screen. Listen, they're going to open up their hearts, they're going to open up their lungs, they're going to open up their spirit to you, and they're going to spill it out on the screen in these boxes. After they do, you're going to see this pop up on your screen. Make sure you are unmuting yourself and letting the community know that you are here. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's Monday night. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. Trust me, I continue to say, all the energy that you share with the poets will give back to you in their poetic performance. So please, do not worry about the noise. Make sure you are sharing the energy with the community. It will come back to you. I promise you, it will come back to you. Sign up tonight is closed. Sign up begins 24 hours before the open mic, which will be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to Nuyorican.org. You want to click on the full events calendar. You want to click on the Monday night that you want to perform on. You need an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way that you're going to get on the guaranteed open mic list is with an artist RSVP ticket. Come on now. Which will not populate until 24 hours before the show, right? I got that. Artist RSVP ticket. Come on now. All right, y'all. So, also going on in the brick and mortar this evening is the Monday Night Slam hosted by the Bee. You know what it is. If you're about that slam life, make sure you are plugging into it because it's going down. Also, right after that, hosted by Soul Preem, is the Monday night open mic in the brick and mortar. Make sure you are plugging in if you are in the tri-state area. Also, coming up this week is Beatniks, hosted by La Bruja. Listen, Beatniks is legendary, y'all. Make sure you are plugging in. It is an online event. Make sure you are plugging into Beatniks. Also coming up this Wednesday, the Women's Orator Wednesdays, hosted by also La Bruja, which is coming up right after Beatniks. So make sure you are plugging in, folks. It is going down this week, y'all. Also, coming up this week is Performance and Poetry Workshop Series, right? Setting it off this week will be Lyrical Faith. Make sure you are plugging in, y'all. It is really going on. It is really going down this week, for real. And of course, the online community, you know what we do. Thunder Lung Thursday is happening, hosted by the one and only Thunder Lung. It's Ray Jane. Make sure you are plugging in with Ray Jane. Listen, Guitar Thursdays is about it, for real. If you don't know about it, make sure you learn about it. Also, coming up this week, hosted by Paul Combe Queso, Voices and Vibes. This week, featuring the Ism. Make sure you are plugging in. Listen, it is going down. Listen, these are the dopest hosts in the Zoomverse. Let me tell you about it. Make sure you plug in with these folks. All right, tonight's list, y'all. Oh, before we get to that, of course, Friday night with Jive. Damn it, of course. Right after Paul Combe Queso is Jive. Listen, it again, if you're about that slam life, Jive gets down with them scores, y'all. Make sure you get down with it. All right. Now, tonight's list. So many usual suspects here. I don't know who would be Kaiser Sose. Maybe that's me. I don't know. But listen, I wait all week for this. I wait all week for this day. Where are all my rowdy friends? There are all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. Oh my goodness. I see some familiar faces. I see some faces that I haven't seen in a while. Of course, I'm going to shout you out. It's only a matter of time. Let's get to it. I will post the entire list in the chat real quick. And as I do, let me set up the leadoff hitter this evening. This poet, the beanie goddess of our community, always coming through ready to lead it off, right? Because this poet never ceases to amaze us. Books on books on books. Continues to make contact from the leadoff spot. The one and only Deadpan Lizzie is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. Lizzie, set it off this evening. Let's go.
Thank you. Beanie blessings to you, ERMT Ragin, and our community. You can find me on IG mostly, ES_Strauss, where my website is. I'm going to do a Satina tonight, so here we go. When the stars in the sky begin to make constellations, I feel the comfort of my ancestors shining over my soul, reminding me to always be authentically me. They know my loyalty to them will not be whole unless I am to myself. I stopped listening to my gut, but now I hear Zir loud and clear. My grandmothers only asked me to drink what I see is clear. My grandfathers remind me to dance with the constellations. My mum tells me to continue to breathe and trust myself. Sometimes the hardest thing to listen to, my soul. When this happens, I know I am not whole. I am slowly learning to just simply listen to me. My kin work too hard to not be fair to me, to remain clear. But until that day where we meet again, I have more work to do here, remaining truthfully whole. Like them, I will one day be a constellation. Honesty will always be the only way for my soul. I know myself. Though the stars will always be where I look to complete myself, music also continues to guide me. Notes make up the other half of my soul. Most of the time, the charming squeak of a saxophone in the moon dust are what seems clear. So I play and pray to the constellations, my symphony of the stars full. I always hope with each new composition composed, they feel me whole. All I ask for myself. I work hard for my constellations just like they did and always will for me. I think they hear me loud and clear, or at least see how I sweat my soul. We each feel each other's souls so we can be whole, to move past the murk so we can stay clear and always be true to myself, to listen to the most important person in my life, me, and to turn off my light bulb sometimes and just look up to the constellations. I am clear, protecting my soul. Thank you, constellations, for seeing me not as a forbidden word, but whole. I will always be authentically true to myself, you too, and will always be kinder to me. Thank you. Many blessings.
Damn, did you hear that? Not as a forbidding word, but as whole. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Deadpan
Start off.
Lizard.
Yeah,
Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Every time.
Dance with constellations. I love that line. Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Gigi.
it.
Right,
Thank you very much.
right.
Wow.
Listen, that's how you set it off.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
Shout out to Books on Books on Books, right? Our resident Beanie Goddess. Listen, listen, I think they hear me loud and clear. Yes, yes, we do. Deadpan, 100%. Listen, I love how you said that you continue to breathe and trust yourself, right? Because so many times we get lost in so many different things, right? But it's so many things that we lose sight of, right? The fact that we can dance with the constellations and be something much more than what we believe that we are, right? As long as we always be true to ourselves. Thank you. Thank you, Lou. That's how you set it off this evening, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the Starship has left the building. It is underway. Let's continue. Coming up next, the blacksmith is in the building. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? You can hear I'm striking the anvil because I'm telling you, this cat's pen just stays so sharp. I'm telling you, he stays in the lab, and I love the fact that he continues to do it and continues to share it with us. Mr. Lighthouse Writers is in the building. The one and only Michael Sindler is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, sir. It's always great to see you.
It is always great to see you and to see everybody else. Definitely great to see some of these people who haven't been around for a while. Too many to list names, but you know who you are. I'm going to put up lighthousewriters.org, which is always good to check out, but is especially good to check out right now because LitFest is coming up in June, and there are a very limited number of Zoom available classes that are still left. So now is the time to check that out. I kind of changed things up a little bit because of looking at this and seeing the theme. So, I usually don't even bother with a theme, but I thought I would. I'm going to start with this little short one called To Let. Pain that will not die must be borne. To bear is to let being less be enough. Love that will not die must be held. To hold is to let what is best be forever. And this one is called Covered with Velvet. I cleared a space where there was clutter, past infatuations stacked like Jenga sticks, put them in a box I left in a dark corner. In their stead, I made an idol of you. Daily puja ritual and unconscious repetition, each breath a sloka chanted softly. In time, I covered your murti with velvet, looked away in silent songs of love. I could not, in time, resist the urge to peek. Then covering was lifted and thrown aside. Worship is no longer constant or fervent, but incense always wafts before your shrine. And this one is for a very, very precious being to me. It's called Claim Me, Tame Me. You've almost surely passed. You would be almost 20 now, ancient for a feline, but maybe not. You are still to me that proud kitten who walked up the hill with your sister and made me yours, claimed me, tamed me, pulled me out of hurt with constant purr, nestling, or following on slow hikes with Sham, watching us coughing by side of the road, footstep close, keeping me safe, ever vigilant. And when we moved away one mountain over, you adapted better than me, even without your sister. Then the long journey to Poughkeepsie, where I left you with a woman I did not love, but knew loved you as an extension of me. As I flung myself on westward, away and toward and torn, sure I would not see you again, and I was right. 20 years is nothing. You are my sweet kitten forever, walking up in dreams, claiming me, taming me. And lastly, everybody needs to be happy because this is Beltane, summer's here. And also, it's May Day, and May Day is more than just rolling around a pole. May Day is International Workers' Day. And so I want to do a poem by Joe Hill, the great Joe Hill, and it's Joe Hill's last will. My will is easy to decide, for there is nothing to divide. My kin don't need to fuss and moan. Moss doesn't cling to a rolling stone. My body, oh, if I could choose, I'd want to ashes it reduce, and let the merry winds, breezes blow my dust to where some flowers grow. Perhaps some fading flower then would come to life, would bloom again. This is my last and final will. Good luck to you all. Joe Hill. Thank you very much, folks.
You see why I said that? You see why I said you could hear the anvil striking before I even unmuted him? I'm telling you, this dude continues to do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael.
That was great.
Love those, Michael.
Michael.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
Michael. And thanks for Joe Hill. I really appreciate that, especially today. You're the best.
Oh, okay. DG Clearing, he absolutely is, right? And again, I will always appreciate this poet. He put me in the room with a legend, right? And which is why I consider him a legend of our community, beyond the fact that he's been doing this and doing this and doing it well longer than some of us has even picked up or dipped our pen in the ink well. Check it out. Listen, he said, past infatuation stacks like Jenga sticks. Instead, I made an idol of you. Did you hear that? Did you? Right? Like that to me is so much of a representation of physical poetry, right? It is taking the page and making people feel the actual texture of a Jenga stick. Thank you, Michael Sindler. And listen, I continue to say, this incredible poet would not have been highlighting this incredible space for years if it wasn't worth checking into. So make sure you are plugging into lighthousewriters.org. Thank you, Michael Sindler, for being a dedicated, valued member of our community. All right, coming up next, this gentleman, listen, whether he is on the list or he is just hanging out, sharing his energy, Professor Platinum has continued to be in this building and share all of his creative energy with us. The one and only Doug Silver is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Professor Platinum. Great to hear you as always. Take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Great to see and hear you and all the poets, as always, of course. When I think of tonight's theme, Sangre, I think of my brother and my best friend, especially when we were kids, 3 blood brothers. This first one's a Haiban, like I shared a few weeks ago, which is a prose piece followed by a haiku. Matsuo Basho popularized the form in the late 17th century. It's called Bicycle Haiban. And then we were riding bicycles, my brother and I, and he was ahead of me on the paved road turning to dirt, like the ones where we grew up, but different, with telephone poles made out of trees, and their wires hung so low you could almost reach them. And you laughed and turned back at me and yelled, "I'm gonna jump them." And you pedal faster and hit a plywood ramp over a pump or something, and you flew into the air and let go of the handlebars just as your bike got caught in the wires, higher than we thought. And you came down hard and landed in some bushes, came up laughing, so proud of what you've done. And you yelled, "Did you see that? Can you believe I just did that?" And both of us looking up at your bicycle, tangled in the telephone wires between the trees, wondering how we'd ever get it down. And here's the haiku that goes with it. Dreams we have of home from so long, from so far away, cut like knives through ice. And this last poem is called Close as We Could. We'd sit on that well-worn wooden bench, my best friend and I, in front of our small town's general store, harmonicas in our pockets. And when we'd run out of things to say, which was often, we'd break them out and have a conversation with them. Maybe me first with something like this. And then after a short break, maybe my best friend with something like this. We were just 12 years old, me born one day before him. And this was just before we started getting high, just before we started getting drunk, still innocent enough to pass a day this way, knowing nothing could be better, never doubting that this and we would go on forever. And by the end, we'd be playing together, maybe me down low and him up high, until we'd meet somewhere in the middle, the best place for most everything. And we'd stop when and only if we ran out of breath, laughing each other congratulations. And the people passing by, they'd stop and say, "My, but those little country boys can play." And we'd talk about Chuck and Jimmy, about muddy waters, and we'd do our best to get to them as close as we could with this, for this, and by this. Thanks everybody very much. Thank you.
Oh, I was not
Thank
ready
you,
for
Ernesto.
that, Professor Platinum, but he came through with it. Unmute yourself, give it up for Doug Silver. Of course. Now you can do
Great
it.
job.
Wonderful.
That was
Doug
great.
Thank you,
Silver.
everybody.
Well
Appreciate
I
done.
it.
love the
Nice
harmonica.
job.
Next time, put it on original settings though.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
The entire thing.
Oh my goodness. There is something about the sound of a harmonica that just, it screams to your soul, right? It doesn't even let your ribs off the hook. Like it vibrates all of them. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. I was not ready. Damn it, you gotta warn me. You gotta warn me on those. Oh my goodness. Listen, and it struck out because listen, I've ridden my bike on paved roads, turn to dirt, you know. Listen, that type of skill to go into that harmonica, Doug Silver, that was incredible, right? And I implore you to break that out in your classroom if you find yourself in it. Really, it will change the dynamic of your classroom if they see that you breathe fire through a musical instrument. True indeed. Thank you, Doug Silver. Make sure you are plugging in with Professor Platinum, a mainstay of our community. Woo. Let's keep it going, y'all. I'm telling y'all, we doing it. We doing it. All right, coming up next. Oh, my goodness. I love when this poet comes through. because I admire their dedication to what they do, right? I've heard this poet even rip some one-word poems, right? With the exuberance and expression that it truly deserves. Oh my goodness. The one and only Marilee Johnson is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Marilee. It is always great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Elemental. Hi, everyone. I'm pleased to be fourth on the list tonight. That's about beating my usual by about 3 spots, but I like being on the list anywhere, so thank you. I'm going to start out with 3 pankus, and I'll explain that the author of this form is our own Elizabeth Strauss, aka Deadpan Lizzie. And there are 3 types of panku. I always do the short ones, the 9-word ones, but there's also one that's 9 lines of 9 words, and the epic one is 9 stanzas of 9 lines of 9 words. And now for the weather report. I'm stuck inside, sunny. I'm free, cloudy, overcast photographs. Skeletal ribs hold black capes in place, rainy day. New Yorkers snarl like wet cats when umbrellas collide. And I'll end with 2 haikus. Pricey brawlies break, canopies yanked free by wind, metal spokes seek eyes. New York crowds, you'd think raindrops couldn't pass through the sea of umbrellas. Thanks for your attention, appreciate it.
A sea of umbrellas. Can you see that from the satellite view? A sea of umbrellas. Come on, unmute yourself. Give it up for Marilee Johnson.
Thank you.
Great work, Marilee. Yeah.
Thank you.
I can see through the umbrellas because you are the sunshine above them. So
Aw.
Oh, come on, DG. See, again. Listen. I know. I'm biased. I'm sorry. I'm biased, right? Listen, because I get to host the greatest community in the world. I'm biased. But did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear this poet come up with poetry on the fly in response to this poet's poem? Yeah. I love this poet. I love this community. Yeah. The creativity abounds. Listen, what I know of photography, some of the best pictures are overcast photographs. Really. It is the best time to take pictures is when it is overcast. And listen, that is just amazing that you even dropped that in a poem, Marilee. Truly, on so many levels. Thank you for being here and being a dedicated member of our community. It is always a great delight to hear your poems. All right, coming up next, I see them in the building, and I'm gonna set them up as I normally do. This next poet is who I like to call the Iron Chef of poetry, because he continues to serve up delectable stanzas. And I'm telling you, if you are not aware, I can tell you one thing unequivocally: everything he thinks is all in his mind. The one and only Generalissimo is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Generalissimo. It's always great to see you. Take it away.
Gracias, Elemental. And I just want to say, I always love hearing Marilee. It's like your poetry is so sharp and perfect and wonderful and so approachable, and there's love and comfort in your poetry. So thank you, Marilee. And I'm going to do 3 books from my book. Everything I think is all in my field. Hurricane Brain. Wait, is that the first poem? I guess it is. They call me Hurricane. They call me Hurricane. All my nerves are last nerves. Finality exists as faulty serotonin snipers missing targets trying to hit bullseyes. They attempt to cross a bridge, but the bridge was cut open by a Category 5 hurricane, now sitting broken in Mobile Bay with a 1/8 mile gap, concrete, asphalt, and rebar at the bottom of the bay where crabs used to crawl. The engineers must decide whether it is feasible to repair rather than replace, but according to the science of architecture, once a bridge breaks, no band-aids or plaster casts can put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Pills are but a tool in an intricate toolbox, serving as band-aids for broken bridges, where serotonin tries to connect us to happiness, but can't always curtail the most common disease in the world, which consists of last nerves with finality. Next poem is called The Afterlife of a Tear. Every tear I cry tears a hole in my brain to reserve a place for a memory to reside. Sometimes certain memories decide to burrow a little farther than the others, so when they get remembered, they have to be triggered. Sometimes someone will commit a crime against me I forgot I had previously experienced, and I see the previous perpetrator's face and the current perpetrator's face, which makes me scream loud enough to make them go deaf. There are memories we want to remember forever. There are memories not consequential enough to keep forever. Then there are memories that hide away in their burrowed holes that leave permanent residue in our souls, called trauma. The final poem is called Bleeding. When I get cut, my blood flows from my skin like lava from Kilauea. Sometimes I need more than direct pressure to make it stay inside. Sometimes I bleed recollections from my subconscious. I bleed recollections my subconscious decides it's time to say goodbye to. Ones it held on to, forming grudges on the inside walls of my personality that have aged enough to naturally decay and chip away into history. Sometimes I bleed bits and pieces of my childhood I have hoarded away to create an inflatable stunt mattress to break the fall of challenges and traumas of adulthood. Sometimes my blood runs clear, forming inconsolable tears when words are not available to wrap my soul in warmth, when I've slipped and fallen into consequential hypothermia. Sometimes my blood is made of words that form when my tears and thoughts pool together into poetry. When that happens, my blood no longer belongs to me. Thank you.
Yeah, I just needed a second to finish that line. God damn it, Mr. Generalissimo. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Generalissimo.
Those are wonderful,
Hey, Brian.
Generalissimo.
And that was
Brian.
absolutely
Generalissimo.
fantastic and so dead on the
Really all
theme,
incredible.
too,
Thank you,
but
Joe
man,
Brian.
yeah, those were deep.
And listen, I'm trying to do like a million things right now, like trying to capture all these things and make sure people are here, Generalissimo. Oh my goodness. I keep telling y'all that dude continues to serve up just tasty morsels that form stanzas. And then he puts them on the plate all nice and piping hot. All my nerves are last nerves. Did you hear that? Where serotonin tries to connect us to happiness. Scream loud enough for you to go deaf. Like, come on, right? But listen, the line that just like, I don't know, I may have to steal that, Generalissimo. They leave permanent residue in our souls called trauma. I love poets so much. I love poets so much. Make sure you are plugging into Generalissimo. Make sure you are getting their manuscript. They are incredible, truly. Thank you, Generalissimo, for all that you serve up on a regular basis. All right. Coming up next, this poet, one of the Jersey Trinity, also the winner of our feature, which is coming up. Listen, it is coming, Terry. Truly, I have not forgot about you, Terry. It is coming very soon. Author of the Chameleon Chronicles, the one and only Terry Rose Jerkson in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Terry. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Nice to see you too. You can find me on Facebook on my name on Teresa Rose Jertson, or you can find me on Instagram under the Chameleon Poetic. And I have a book. It's called the Chameleon Chronicles. So hit me up if you want a copy. If not, you can get it from Red or Green Books. I'm just going to find my poem. It's on the phone. Okay, here we go. You tied your soul to my ankle before I knew what was happening. Big blue eyes slow blinking at me. You were a quiet genius, the kind that no one suspects of any wrongdoing. The jury is still out on this. Did you mean me harm? The well-worn charm of being all fair in the game of love and war. When you were born a liar and a rule breaker, you never confessed to this. You will be the first to go down the river without a paddle, not expecting to drown. Every day manifesting a new life, threatening dilemma just to give me something to do. And expect me to rescue you. Will this ever be an unselfish act? I suspect that you must get sadistic pleasure out of watching me dying a slow, painful death. Each offense caused by your selfish acts. And finally, you have the nerve to ask me to become dust with you, my murderer? Thank you.
Oh, 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 oh. Damn it, Terry. Damn it, Terry. Unmute yourself. Give it up and Terry
Nice, Terry. Yeah,
Rose.
with you.
Nice to hear you,
Wow.
Terry.
It's so good.
Wow.
Great work, Terry.
Thank you.
That was great.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, damn, Terry. I mean, tied your soul to my ankle, right? Listen, like I've known, I've been around Terry's poetry for a while, and that it just started to get there, right? Like it just, I love when it turns and started churning, right? All is fair, love and war, yes indeed, right? Said, did you mean to harm me? Right? But you'll be the first one down the river without a paddle, not expecting to drown. Come on. Come on. I love it. It's so much imagery in that, right? How many times have you heard Up Shit's Creek without a paddle, right? They even made a series, Up Shit's Creek. Like, come on, right? It's so much a part of our human lexicon. So I truly, truly appreciate that, Terry. Make sure you are plugging into Terry Rose Jertson and getting their incredible work. You will see Terry very soon as one of the features coming up. More to come about that. Before we move on real quick, let me shout out some folks in the building. Mia Aguilera is here. Always great to see Mia. Truly, truly. Marsha Rivera is in the building. Brimlow, always great to see Marsha in the building. For real. All right. Gina Nepa is here. Listen, I love yelling at Gina Nepa because they are incredible. Listen, make sure you are plugging in with Gina Nepa. The Jedi Master, Paul Skiff, is in the building. The Metachlorian count with that gentleman is off the chart. Make sure you are plugging in to the Jedi Master. Deadpool is here. Listen, I did. I'm gonna come at you later. But the one and only Thunder Lung is in the building. Shout out Queen Ray Jane. Make sure you are plugging in to Thunder Lung Thursdays. You will hear more from the Queen coming up at halftime. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, this poet right here, listen, got a new manuscript coming out. They flexing hard, and they should be flexing hard, right? Glow on extreme, right? Because your first manuscript is such a powerful step forward. And this poet has got all the power and stamina behind them to do it. The one and only Vex Lex is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Lex. Tell them about your manuscript. Take it away.
Shout out to you always, Elemental. I'm Vex Lex. You can find me on Instagram at Vex Lex Poetry. And to get a copy of my book, if you're trying to be like Ray Jane and secure your copy, go to my website. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Officialvexlex.com. You click on that, you fill out the form on the main page, and that's how you secure your copy. All right, so this piece I got tonight is called Notice Me. So much of my life has been consumed with the never-ending need for validation. Does this sound okay? Is this good enough? Am I okay? Am I good enough? I ask the opinions of others before I ask myself if I even decide to include my own thoughts, my neglected words. Have you been noticing my progress? Because I have. That should be what matters most, right? If I am being honest, sometimes I wonder if you're allowed to still call yourself mentally ill if you're actually doing well. Do you have to rely on how other people perceive you to tell you if you are doing well? I take my medications almost every day, and there are certain periods when I feel as though I am coasting through the days. Sometimes it'll be a few hours to about a week. I question if I am in a good mood or if this is the positive side to mania. At any rate, I raise an eyebrow whenever someone is surprised at my mentioning my battles with mental illness. Well, isn't it just like any other illness? The highs and the lows, the good days and the bad, going into remission only to be swept back into the chaos of it. Some people may ask, how can I be loyal to others if I am not first loyal to myself? Well, I am also a Gemini, so the personality depends on the day. Thank you.
Damn, shout out to Gemini's in the building. Unmute yourself, give it up for Vex Lex.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
Vex Lex. That was great.
That was great.
Two shout outs for the Gemini.
Always the
Yeah.
battles. Yeah, it is a battle.
Thank you.
Damn it, Lex. Listen. Listen, and I heard a couple folks commenting on that. So I'm coming back at you, Lex. Coming back at you. Two things. One, promote the manuscript. Two, tell me about that Gemini line. Go.
Again, you guys can catch my book, officialvexlex.com. It's called Ask Me Again in 6 months. That's a preview of the title right there. Go to my website, officialvexlex.com, fill out the form, and that's how you secure your pre-order. It's due to come out August of 2023. And the Gemini line, I kind of just threw it in there. It was kind of like a chaotic piece. So I kind of, people like to say Geminis have multiple personalities. And I kind of threw that in there because I also have borderline personality disorder, which is its own personality thing. So I kind of threw that in there as someone who might have different person. I wake up a new person every day, not figuratively speaking.
Listen, thank you, Lex, for taking the time to go through that and explain that to us. Listen, it's important for the audience to know how the poet feels when they're writing these poems. right? Clearly, you know what I mean? I don't know if there are other Geminis in the building, you know what I mean? But clearly they're related to it in different ways. So I thank you for sharing that and your battle with trying to find your mental stability, right? The positive side of mania, right? That is not an easy quest, right? Can you call yourself ill if you're doing well? That's heavy. That's heavy, Lex. So thank you for addressing your mental struggles. And listen, it's a marathon, right? It truly is. So thank you for bringing that to us and sharing that incredible journey with us. Man, make sure
I
you are
appreciate you,
plugging
Elemental.
in. Man, listen, always, Lex, make sure you are plugging in with Vex Lex, a value member of our community. Listen, you're going to get more than just poetry every single Monday night, right? Coming at you next is a superhero in our community. Oh, I love when this poet comes through because you get to see a superhero in real life, showing you how they make room for other people, how they express things in different ways, whether it be storytelling or poetry or, you know, co-directing an entire global network. This poet is all over the world. The one and only Finn Bell is in the building, who I like to call the daughter of Krypton. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. And it's always great to see you and hear your poetry.
You too, Elemental. Thank you so much, son of Krypton. Hello, family. I hate to poet and run, but I have something to get to right after this. You can find me on Instagram, Finn_Bell. So this poem is called Affinity, Sun, Moon, Burn, Heal. In turning toward the light of the good, steady sun, take the warmth of days along with you. Does anyone memorize the shape a shadow creates as it reinvents the contours of the darkness? I will ruffle the falling leaves, burrow my content in the tree's damp bark, consume the honeycomb whole. Plump bees will sound an echoing alarmed buzz, be the voice honeying my mouth. I will slow my breaths. My heart matches pace. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. My movements will become a dusk cover stillness. A saw-whet owl nests her small pebble shape on my skull, shivers and settles her plumage to vanish into my thistle hair, scolds the night. A last listless two, and the starfire in her eyes, listless. We do not call out to the daybreak. In our silence, we forget the peaks and valleys of his beloved face. There is a yawning nothingness forming in the sun's heart chakra. It bewilders if you stare too long. Or am I gazing at my own moon face, not knowing, yearning, oracle eyes, milky blinded and seeking? I touch my fingertips to the horizon, a belief submerged root chakra deep, that day meets night, that night follows day, willful, unabashed, devoted. I turn toward the light of the good, steady sun, take the warmth of days along with me. Thank you.
Yeah, it is the warmth of days that you leave in people's lungs, indeed. Unmute yourself. Give it
That
up
was
for
great.
Ben
Oh,
Bear.
yes.
Wonderful,
Incredible,
Findell.
man.
Incredible.
Yes.
Daughter of Krypton.
Not that we expect any
Incredible
less,
superhero.
but
Yep.
yes, always
Thank you
incredible.
so much, Finn. Yeah.
Like, listen, you don't have to take my word for it, folks. You can Every single one of these members of our community will let you know why I am so ecstatic about introducing each one of them. They will show you why they are so incredible, right? Listen, I'm only a conduit, right? All of this energy, what do you expect me to do with it, right? Keep the warm of days with you. Of course you will, right? Be the voice honeying my mouth. Like, come on. Ooh, what? What? Like, do you have bees in your throat that are honeying your mouth? Like, come on. Bump, bump. Indeed. I touch my fingertips to the horizon. What? I wonder what it feels like. I wonder what it feels like. I'm looking forward to hearing that poem. Make sure you are following the Daughter of Krypton. They are incredible all over the place. Make sure sending all the positive energy for your next destination as you move on. Listen, make sure you are plugging in with Fincabulary and all they do and all the social media platforms. Listen, listen, the community will speak for me. I don't have to do it myself. All right. Coming up next. Appreciate you, Fimbo. Coming up next, this gentleman has a tendency to raise the IQ in every room that he steps in. Make sure you have your medulla strapped on tight because he's about to oblongata with his incredible artistry. One thing I can tell you, he is not your damn chihuahua. Time for our TED Talk, y'all. The one and only Mr. Tezza Somos in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Mr. Tez. Always great to see you. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Elemental. It's great to be here on another Monday with the community. I'm going to, folks can catch me on Instagram under Gashes2019. I'm going to jump in for a couple of minutes of Time Tacos, our time travel comedy. We're gonna pick up where Tito and Skippy are having the discussion about the future. Tito, I hear you, Skippy, but can we talk about tacos again? I'm starving over here. Skippy, Tito, come on, man. We need to start taking our future seriously. Tito, okay, I hear you. Let's finish up work and then we can talk about all our game plans for the future. If I sing you my latest rap, can we also grab some tacos on the way home? Skippy, sure, Tito. I'll buy you all the tacos you want if it means you'll start taking all of this seriously. All right, Tito, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. MC Tito on verse 1. En este vecindario no hay nada fácil. Las calles son duras, el aire es salado. No salimos a diario porque no hay nada que hacer. Solo vemos el tiempo pasar, esperando el amanecer. Solo sales en cajón porque no hay otra opción, o por mamón tratando de ser un dueño de la razón, pero no hay honor en ser un cobarde, solo nerdos y cerdos que nunca saben la verdad. Skippy reluctantly air mic Skippy. Mic check. 1, 2. Here we go, gente. I'm your lyrical Chicano with your Gabacho lingo. In this neighborhood, nothing is easy. The streets are hard. The air is salty. We don't go out every day because there's nothing to do. We just watch time go by, waiting for the dawn. You only come out in a coffin because there's no other option. Or if you're a mamon, try to be the owner of reason, but there is no who never owned the truth. Skippy and Tito together air mic the chorus. En este vecindario hay de todo un poco, tecatos y chiveros que solo buscan un poco de lo que no pueden tener porque no les importa perder, chiquinarcos y vendidos que venden sus almas por el poder. In Gabacho lingo, English. In this neighborhood, there's a little bit of everything. Tecatos and chiveros, only looking for a hit or what they can have, but they don't mind losing. Chiqui narcos and sellouts who sell out their souls for power. Tito, verse 2, let's get it on, verse 2. En este vecindario hay tanta tristeza, la violencia es común, la pobreza es la riqueza, pero hay algo que nos mantiene en pie, la esperanza de un futuro mejor, donde podamos ser libres, que no queremos ser como ellos vendiendo nuestras almas por dinero, queremos ser diferentes, ser más que un simple objeto, queremos ser fuertes, con coraje en nuestros corazones, no nos importa lo que pase, siempre seguiremos adelante. Tito exaggerates a WrestleMania tag out to Skippy. Skippy, all right, mi gente, this is your lyrical Chicano. In this neighborhood, there's so much sadness, violence common, poverty as well, but there is something that keeps us standing, hope for a better future where we can be free. We don't want to be like those selling out our souls for the holler dollar. We want to be different, to be more than an object. We want to be strong with courage in our hearts. No matter what happens, we will always carry on. Tito joins Skippy on the chorus. Skippy and Tito chorus. En este vecindario hay de todo un poco, tecatos y chiveros que solo buscan un poco de lo que pueden tener, pero no les importa perder. Chiquinarcos y vendidos que venden sus almas por perder. In this neighborhood, there's a bit of everything. Tecatos and chiveros who are only looking for a hit or what they can't have, but don't mind losing. Chiquinarcos and sellouts who sell out their souls for power. Skippy, all right, MC Tito, take this puppy home. Tito, outro. En este vecindario la vida es difícil, pero siempre habrá esperanza, siempre va en camino. No te rindas nunca, sigue luchando por tus sueños, porque al final del día solo tú puedes crear tu propio destino. In English, in this neighborhood, life is hard, but there'll always be hope, there'll always be a way. Never give up, keep fighting for your dreams, because at the end of the day, only you can create your own destiny. Skippy, all right. Looks like King Taco it is.
I know, right? There was so much that just happened right there. There's so much that just happened right there. I know. Unmute yourself. Get up from Mr. Tether Solo.
Great job,
Ah,
Tez.
Mr.
Yeah,
Tito,
yeah.
Man,
you are just
coming along.
every damn time. Thank you.
I mean, I know we just all witnessed that in real time, right? Not only did Mr. Tez tell us a story, but then he created a beat and then flipped it in 2 languages, right? So we got hip hop and reggaeton this evening, courtesy of Mr. Tessa Somo. This cat's incredible. This cat's incredible. Like, I think that's your new tagline. Like, here we go, gente. Like this is what you do, right? I don't know if you like, clearly you're part Skippy, part Tito. Like, this is what you do, right? Like all your poems just kind of scream, arise me, gente. Like they do, right? We want to be strong with courage in our hearts, right? And that's what you do every time that you reinforce the knowledge that you give us, Mr. Tez. Thank you for all your incredible storytelling. Listen, make sure you are plugging in with Mr. Somo, and make sure you are plugging in with his incredible work on Amazon and all the places that you can find Mr. Tez, also the curator of the Pandemic Poets group on Facebook. Plug in. All right, coming up next, all the way from across the water. Listen, we appreciate this cat for staying up as late as he has. Listen, man, I don't know. Like, he just has this like time traveler hat with the goggles. Listen, I love when this cat comes through because there is only one of these cats in the world. And I've had the pleasure of talking to this cat and interviewing this cat. I'm telling you, if you're not familiar with this person, make sure you are plugging in. The one and only Finn Hall is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. Finn, always great to see you. Take it away.
Yeah, you can find, actually from the future, because it's now Tuesday here, man. You guys are so behind with things. So, yeah, right. I've got a couple. Before I do, I've got a book that came out very recently. It's a triple hander called Headspace, and it's written with me, my daughter, and my 15-year-old granddaughter. We've all got poems in this book, man. So, anyway, I've got two for you tonight. One I wrote just tonight, and it's a different kind of loyalty. As you may know, there's some shit thing happening in Buckingham Palace on Saturday. This is my take on it. It's called Screw the King. I am not a subject. I am a topic. I am a simile. I'm a facsimile. I am an oblique understatement. Understatement is oblique. It arrives unexpectedly, glancing off the unobserved side of things. And as Jane once said, understatement provides you with less so you feel more. But they want you to be less. I feel more distant from the alternate reality, where swearing allegiance to an imaginary caring human with untold riches and condescending tone is the norm. Yet the media won't leave us alone, urging us to be good, chanting citizens to someone who in another world would be a dictator. And later, when he's gone, his subsequent son will expect the same gratuitous forelock tugging and obsequious groveling and knowing their place for tradition, because they have us believe it's a sedition to shout obscenities at him rather than swear to. I haven't got a clue. Do you? He doesn't even deserve to have his title capitalized. Are you surprised I feel like that? You can stick your coronation up your arse. It's not my effing nation. You can stick your coronation up your arse. Right, and this next one's a bit more serious, and it was the last poem that I wrote for Poetry Month the other day, and the prompt was, "Did you hear that?" And it's called Last Bus. They stand, hatted, eyes befuddled, sweeping down empty streets, hoping the light approaching will get them home. It's not quite summer, not quite the end of spring, late night, twilight, not quite foggy, not yet bright. The streets are empty, bit by excruciating bit. A few loud shouts from nearby midweek quiet student bars. Look up. I'm not sure if there are stars. That kind of bus stop. 5 more minutes should do it, if it's on time, and it may be the end of the shift for the driver. But he can't rush. Slow night, slow bus, no missed stops. Alone, standing, unworried, but needing. Then creeping almost silently, almost unsure, it arrives. The door opens. Coins drop. They walk to the back, downstairs, empty. Doors shut. Doors open. Look out of the window into the familiar night, silent and sullen, empty. A dozen empty stops will see you. You wonder what the driver thinks on journeys like this, not rushing in case someone has timed it right, driving on automatic, by habit, like the horse and carriage round Central Park, but less greenery and duller. And casually they push the bell, which sounds like a clarion in the silence. The less used brakes make a slight scraping sound. The doors open. They step into the night, putting the phone in your pocket. The game they were playing unfinished. Soft shoe footsteps. The door closes. The door opens. The loudest sounds on the planet. Concert speakers, fireworks, gunfire, blue whale, space shuttle, the silent scream of a rape victim.
Oh, damn it. That's what you call last line damage. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn.
Oh yeah,
That was
man, that
great,
last
great.
line hit hard.
Oh,
Wow.
Just amazing.
right there. Right there it hits. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Listen, if you're not familiar with Finn Hall, I believe he is in Scotland. Am I correct? Listen, so it's crazy. Like he said, it's already Tuesday there, right? So we're already behind this time traveler. Listen, it is something. It is something to start hopping generations. Please, Finn Hall, make sure you are posting, if you have it available, post a link to the book that you just mentioned. You said that there are poems with you, your daughter, and your granddaughter. That is an heirloom right there, man. Listen, that is the most priceless heirloom I believe that we can pass down to future generations. Is expression, is creativity. So thank you. Please, community, make sure you are plugging in with that to make sure we are helping poetry move forward and we are encouraging the next generation to do what we do, just better, right? Just better. Goodness. Listen, and I saw the Jedi Master grabbed onto this line too. He said, he doesn't even deserve to have his title capitalized. God damn it. If that doesn't spell disrespect, I don't know what does. Woo! Man, I appreciate that, Finn Hall. Listen, it is crazy early where Finn Hall is. Make sure you are plugging in with Finn Hall. Sometimes they will post poems from their vehicle. Listen, it is crazy, right? But Finn Hall is an incredible poet. Make sure you're plugging in. Thank you, Finn Hall, for staying up late with us. All right, coming up next, this next poet is the curator of his own open mic. Time to Arrive happens on Tuesdays. This gentleman, listen, my first introduction to this poet was complete and utter freedom in what he felt and the way that he wrote his truth. And I will always truly respect him for it. The one and only Dane Ince is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. Dane, it's always great to hear you. Take it away.
Okay, great. I put my social stuff in the chat and oh man, I go all around, don't know what to read, but I am going to read some old stuff and I'm going to read something from the book that I have out. I got the title from a Russian woman artist that I met during the pandemic, and that the relationship went nowhere, but she did give me a title for a poem. And okay, how to paint a poem. This isn't from the whole existential novel, but it's just something I did a while ago. How to paint a poem with a toothpick, canker sore, prime the linen canvas with vacant looking future smile. I wonder where you went then. Crumble down to the granite curb, the propaganda, the deed, the theory, the violin note. I am bowing, muddy waters, growls, how to paint a sunset with nothing but question marks, how to paint an oaky knot, losing is all that, solitary window sash, and what is the use to how to paint a tree. I explained that all to you in Waco in summertime when wisdom took his tool, carved the leather indentations in my latest dream, the one I remember, the piles of cherry pits. Something good must have gone on, like a Emma Goldman lullaby, burning yard site candle last December. Soon I will light another. When will I be finished? I know now, never. Luba made me an honorary member of the tribe. Gertie, the 411 Bales bondsman's rides in the front seat, shotgun, shogun. She's strapped with a pearl-handled pistol, always carries, but she has no need. Nothing hurts her heart of steel. The melon seeds fly, she spits bullets, how to paint kitchen cabinets, how to paint a lie, how to paint a room, how to paint clouds. The magic drifts by. See the panther crouching at the bottom of Jacob's ladder. How to find the words, how to be okay, how to paint a wall surrounding safe, how to paint a way out of here, leaving no clues at all, how to paint metal, how to paint furniture, how to paint a house to play house in when the parents are all dead, old enough to know better, young enough to do it anyway. How to paint a car, how to paint IKEA furniture, how to paint with acrylics, how to paint with blood, how to paint with bony fingertips naked in the mud, how to paint marble for real with watercolor tears, how to an excuse for more beer, perfect, never wrong. Listen to the song. This is called Call a Cab. I had that drug twice, propofol. You drove me home, say, next time soon, I'll have to call a cab. It must be what death is like. Subsides, terror, pain after the retreat of the lowest neat tide. I saw you struggle. I saw you die. When your heart stopped, I just stood in the corner watching the flat line. I could not kiss you. Kiss you, one kiss, never enough. All the tubes and mass barricades. I could not kiss you while you were still able to know I love you. I tried to pack up a sack lunch for the boat ride. I brought Callie and she stayed in her carrier most of the day. You did get to pet her. I was afraid, scared you'd know that this is the end and goodbye. We traded notes on paper till your writing was an unintelligible scribble. I asked if you wanted morphine. You shook your head no. Are you ready to go? I asked. A little shake of your head no, fiery eyes and a fucking hell no. We looked at our wedding album. You pointed out the picture you liked most. There are clever words for what it means to be afraid of being alone. The rushing whisper of wind through leafy trees, the smell of air just after rain. There is even a clever word for the absence of pain, absence of sorrow. But what is the word for the sound that starts in my feet, travels up through my belly, my vibrating throat, and out the room where our cats sleep? There is no word, only a sound. Today is a good day to cry. There is no clever twist coming here to finish this all neat. There is only one word, grief. Thank you.
You're right, Dane. There is only one word. Damn. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dane.
When they say, oh, there are no words for this, those are the words for this.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Dane. That was great, though.
Beautifully done.
There's
Yes.
so much sharing. Thank you.
This is
Blessings to you.
This is the work, folks. This is why we do what we do. It's things like that, right? It's learning how to paint with blood. Honestly. Like, I know that sounds gruesome, right? Something out of your favorite Netflix series, but it really is true, right? I could not count, and I'm sure the poets in these Zoom boxes right now could not count how many poems they have written in blood or painted pictures in blood, literal or figurative. I know, sounds crazy. I know, but you have stumbled upon a weirdo corner of people who are incredibly creative from every angle. He said, I asked if you wanted morphine. Billy. Before that, though, he just kind of, I don't know where, I just saw that picture, right? The panther crouching at the bottom of Jacob's ladder. Listen, it's something about that, right? When you know what Jacob's ladder is, and then this panther is sitting on the smell of rain just after the air. I mean, smell of air just after the rain. Listen, I love how textural your poetry is, Dane. It always has been, right? That's why I appreciate this poet, and every time they come through. Make sure you are plugging in with Dane and their open mic time to arrive. Woo! I tell y'all, this is the greatest community in the world. And coming at you next is another reason why. We had to make sure that, we made space for this gentleman who I love to yell at, right? Shout out Voltron Rising. This gentleman should never stay away from us too long because his poetry is just so sweet. He is our Georgia Peach. But this dude, I'm telling you, if you don't know about this next poet, make sure you are setting your screen on record, because the one and only Andy Markert is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Andy. It's been too long, man. Take it away. What?
Now I can unmute myself.
There we go.
Hello, my beautiful lovelies. Hi. You can find me at Andy Meerkat, which is in a bubble below my name, which is always great. And I've only got one for you tonight. And in my usual tradition, here's the title. It's called The Dizzying Whirlwind of I'm Sorry, or The Essential Ingredient of White Male Privilege is Forgetfulness, as we make a cake out of this denial. I sit yet again forced to listen to a man tell me for the umpteenth time in the umpteenth way about how feminist, how anti-racist, how liberal or soft or caring or radical, how he is not like the others. People at the table smile. Rare mixtures of admiration and fear. I smile respectfully. I learned a long time ago, respectability is the ammunition you load your mouth when it becomes a gun you never learned how to shoot. Not that you remember the targets you hurt with your words, because you get a luxury of never having to remember where your rounds land, while joking that you too have anxiety and never forget anything except for the violence you cause. That a nod is a currency offered in silence that compensates complicity. I am a white poet, which is to say I learned to make colonization sound pretty as I talk about the nightmares as though it's Tuesday with the luxury of metaphor. Which is to say, I benefit by my intersection, even when it's a suburb, even when it's a cul-de-sac. And what a whirlwind of luxury I get. Pain to make metaphor and simile and not gravestone, while others at the table not born with cock or paleness get consequence. He tells everyone he fucks he's one of the good guys, forgetting that once, like all boys like me, he learned it as a way to atone for the times he was not. But he's forgotten that now, cloaked in a superiority of goodness, championing forgetfulness. I say there is no such thing as a good guy, because none of us are actually good. He stops. We talk about the weather. Thank you.
You see, this is why I yell at this dude, because he comes through when he does that. Oh, mute yourself. Give it up for Andy.
Andy.
Wonderful, Andy.
The white male's
Yep,
privilege.
that was.
Yes,
That's
that
a
was
wake-up call.
so good. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you for coming.
Good to hear and see you again.
Hey, tell him, DG. Tell him. This is why we will make sure that we make room for our community members. right? Andy is doing his thing, right? And listen, he reached out and said, hey, you know what I mean? I want to get down, but I need to move down. And listen, this is why this is why I love our community, man. Listen, I don't think I have ever heard a poet say, I am a white poet. I just heard him say that. He did. He did. And he also said, I learned to make colonization sound pretty. God damn it. God damn it, he did that. A nod is a currency. Yes. Yes. He smiled respectfully. This dude, listen. This is why I yell at him, right? This is why I yell at Gina also, because they come through with damn it, like they set your blood on fire with what they do. Thank you, Andy. Listen, make sure you are plugging in. Again, shout out Voltron Rising. That dude, that dude sets it on fire every single time. All right, listen, before we move on, make sure you're following Andy Meerkat. Listen, before we move on, I am gonna pass it over to the dopest tech in the Zoom verse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
I am doing okay. Thank you so much for yelling at Andy and Gina and the others. Yes, Andy, it's been a while. I'm so glad you're back. Gina, I hope we're going to get to hear more from you soon again. So thank you so much. I am Ron Mark Thompson. I am your tech assistant in the background. Talking about technology, I am aware that our live streams to our 3 social media platforms are not working today. I tried to kick them off 3 times when we started the open mic, but it didn't work. So instead, I'm recording it to the Zoom cloud. And after Elemental ends the open mic tonight, I'm going to upload it to our YouTube channel. That way, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you can see it in YouTube. And if you're watching this in YouTube right now, I'm glad you didn't miss our open mic and you still got to see the playback. I will also work with our cafe management to get it on Facebook and Twitter, or at least a link to it after tomorrow. So again, just FYI. I'm going to put all other information into the chat, all different types of links to our cafe, including our website, Nuyorican.org, our social media handles, our link tree, where you can see like all different types of, links to to everything Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Our newsletter, if you didn't receive it, make sure you can add yourself to our mailing list. If you want to help keeping programming like the Monday and Thursday night online open mics, on the air, you may donate to us at nuyorican.org/contribute or via our Cash App handle. Elemental mentioned that we have plenty of programming each and every week. Like today, Monday I think is one of our busiest days. In addition to the online open mic in which we are right now, we also have a poetry slam at 6 o'clock and an on-site open mic at 9 o'clock. I do want to point out we have a few extra programs this month. In the last few weeks we have had online writing workshops, and the good news is we are now permanently continuing them each and every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, online in Zoom. This month's theme is performance in poetry. The ticket for one class is $10. We reduced it, so that way more of us can attend. You don't have to attend all classes. You can pick and choose one class. You can buy tickets for 2, attend all 4 of them. It's your choice. You see our facilitators for this month. I think most of them. Lyrical Faith, Elemental mentioned, will be teaching this Thursday's class. Next week on the guest host then became the permanent host this month and has been confirmed, as the continuing host this month and next month. So J Rose, in addition to hosting the Wednesday night slam at the cafe, will also be leading an online writing workshop on May 18th, and then none other than Paul Concasso on May 25th, again Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is 3 hours before Ray Chain's online open mic. So if you don't have a poem to perform in Ray Chain's open mic, come at 6 o'clock, write 1, 2, 3 poems and bring them at 9 o'clock for Ray Chain. After the next performer, I'm actually going to ask Ray Chain to unmute herself to tell us about this Thursday. One more quick slide. This Thursday, Lyrical Faith, the specific topic for her class will be identifying the elements of dynamic storytelling through spoken word poetry, because most of us know that spoken word is a little bit different than page poetry. So come on through if you can make it this Thursday. I also want to reiterate again what Elemen2al mentioned, that we have Voices and Vibes returning again. So this month is the first time we're going to have it 3 times per month, specifically on the 1st, 3rd, and 4th Friday of the month, which means May 5th, May 19th, and May 26th. And the good news, we are also continuing our special ticket promotion from last month. So this month, again, only $5 per ticket. You can bring your own original music or sing to any karaoke song, that you would like to sing to. 6 p.m. on Fridays. Come on through in person to the cafe. I'll be working at the tech booth. Say hi to me if you're there. We love to have you. And Paul and Elemen2al mentioned that this week's featured performer will be The Ism. And May 5th also happens to be Cinco de Mayo. So come on, celebrate with us if you can make it. And also I want to remind Fridays after Voices and Vibes, we're still hosting Friday Night Slam with Chive Poetic every Friday at 10 p.m. And then this one I didn't have on past slides, but we actually do have another open mic every Friday, which is called the Twilight Open Mic. It's right after the Friday Night Slam. It's hosted by Chauvet, and that is again Friday evening, which is really Saturday morning, like 12:30, 1 o'clock, right after the Friday Night Slam. So if you want to bring, your own vibes, your own poetry, come on through for this. And Wednesdays, Elemen2al mentions, we do have our poetry slam and open mics on Wednesday, except on the first Wednesday of the month, because that one is reserved for Beatniks Online, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You see on the flyer, we have Iris Morales, Lois Griffith, and Rena Valentine, 3 powerhouses this Wednesday, May 3rd, live stream or Zoom. So join us if you can make it. And in person at the cafe, 9 p.m., our executive director, Labrua, will then host the Women Orators Wednesday. And there is one more special program I want to point out for this month, 2 performances, Saturday, May 6th and May 20th, which is Refuge and Finding Home. You can see on the flyer, we have 3 performances. First is Judith Sloan, actor and audio artist. She will present our excerpts from the book It Can Happen Here and a new project that she's working on. We also feature Adina Karasik. She will present a sneak peek from her forthcoming book, Overt Openings. And we have Warren Luro, a author, designer, and performer who will present excerpts from his books and songs from 5 Oceans in a Teaspoon. There will also be music performances, tickets in advance, only $10, $15 at the door. If you can make it on either one of those Saturdays, I definitely recommend it. Come to the cafe. And again, for everything that, Nuyorican Poets Café, subscribe to our social media handles or tickets in advance, go to our website, nuyorican.org, click on full events calendar, and that will lead you to the ticket site, or bookmark it in your browser, so that way you'll have it always available. All right, we're going to get to Ray Chain in just a second, but first I want to introduce our next performer, who is, let me just double check on the list, from Florida. There are many things coming from Florida. We've heard many things from himself lately, but one good thing that is coming out of Florida is our own Magos Gustav Salas. Gustav, I always look forward to what you bring here every Monday. I'm so happy that we also see you on Thursdays, and we're gonna get to see you in person when you come to New York City in July at the Poetry Festival, and of course we'll see you at the Nuyorican Poets Café as well. Gustav, go ahead, introduce yourself just in case anyone doesn't know, somebody doesn't know you yet, and then the next 3 minutes are all yours.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Thank you, Elemental. Greetings, beloved poets. I am the Magus, Gustav Salas. You can find me at Magus 801, MAGUS 801 on Instagram. I have 2 pieces for tonight. One is brand spanking new, less than 2 hours old. I'd love some feedback. This is called My Dinner with Sangre. Dinner with my sister and friends last night. Steaks on the grill, cooked to perfection with a portobello garlic onion sauce, a baked potato, and peas. My sister told the story of how she was a loyal blood donor to the Red Cross of Philadelphia and that they paid her $350 for giving blood. Some of that money is what paid for the expensive 1-pound top sirloin steaks we were enjoying. She literally shed blood for the meal we were consuming with such delight. Give blood, give blood, give blood. Over dinner, we discussed many things. Our host had recently lost his job and his girlfriend. He mused at length on the value of loyalty through trials and tribulations. As many conversations do in this troubled country, the discussion turned to mass shootings, specifically the most recent mass shooting in Cleveland, Texas, resulting in 5 deaths, including one 8-year-old child. Sangre, sangre, sangre! 2 female victims were discovered in the bedroom, lying on top of 2 surviving children. Now that is loyalty. Who would you act as a human shield for? Who would you protect with your life? Sangre, sangre, sangre! You are my blood. To you I am loyal forever. I mean it with no buts, ifs, and no however. I'll not let you down. By this I mean never. We have a bond impossible to sever. Sangre, sangre, sangre! Thank you. And this next piece is called Into the Lion's Den. I find myself fighting again. My weapons are paper and pen. I'm a lion come out of my den. I'm who, what, where, why, and when, defying their prophecies with contrary philosophies. I got the best tactics. You'd best get back, bitch. So spare me the drama. I smoke blunt force trauma. Avoid the death spiral. As worldwide I go viral. Ain't no waterboarding the truth out of me. I spit it for free. Thank you very much. Peace, everyone.
Oh my God, he is fighting for us. Everyone, please let him know.
That was great.
Wonderful,
Yes.
Gustav.
Yo,
Gustav.
love it.
Gusto!
He does that. Come
Wonderful.
on.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, that damn Gusto. Woo!
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Gustav, for fighting for us, for bringing these powerful pieces to remind us, what is going on, in our world, specifically in our nation. It's always great, to hear your powerful, thought-provoking pieces. Thank you so much, Gustav. I look forward to see you in person in July. Before we get to our next performer, let us hear from It's Ray Jane sporting a hat, like very cool. I think you were the one that earlier that came in under iPhone. I believe so, but I'm not sure. But I'm so glad we're here. Remind people, besides Monday, we have another wonderful open mic going on. What day is it on? What are we going to do? Ray Jane, tell the community about it, please.
Greetings and thank you, Ron. Thank you. I'm Ray Jane. As they say, I'm the host of the Thursday night online open mic. You could catch us at 9 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. Sign up. Rules are the same as Mondays, so 24 hours ahead of time. So since we're doing poetry, music, and comedy at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, you'll be signing up at the Nuyorican.org full events calendar, Thursday of choice, 9 p.m. slot. Artist ticket, that's the ticket, right? And then if you forget to do all of that, just show up anyway. We got something called a good luck round. So you can still get on, right? There's still a chance for you is what we're saying, okay? So if you want a chance, come through. If nothing else, dip, yourself into the love that we are serving for you, all right? Shout out to all the artists who've gone thus far and who will go forward. It's an honor to be amongst you. I see my peach though. We missed you, Andy. We missed you. All right, back to the show. Peace, y'all. Hope to see y'all Thursday.
Thank you so much, Ray Jane. Yes, please come to Thursdays, Ray Jane, with this beautiful microphone, and Ray Jane, in case some of you missed the last Thursday, we always heard Ray Jane sing before, but lately she's been singing a lot more, and she actually inspired some of our participants to sing. So you have to come out to Thursdays. And if you missed any of the past Thursdays, our live streams have worked in the past week. So you can go back to either Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube and check out any of the previous shows. But thank you so much, Rachel. And we look forward to seeing and hearing from you and hosting our next online open mic this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And let us go to one more performer before I send it back to Elemen2al. One more proof that our Nuyorican Poets Café has become national and international. He is zooming in from the Midwest, and we also were lucky to meet him in person. I think it was a year or 2 years ago when you came to one of the hybrid open mics and the karaoke we hosted back then. DJ is always a pleasure, always a gentleman, with us here on Mondays, some Thursdays. DJ, let everyone know where we may follow you, and then go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Ron, thank you so much for everything that you do. I love your new do. You are a handsome man as it is, but that is just incredible. You can follow me at DJ Clearing anywhere on the net. And also, that they're remodeling the Nuyorican. So be sure when you do a donation tonight, you do just a little bit extra. Okay. I've got one poem for you. In the swamp stubble, the fields have yielded to the waters of the marsh as leopard frogs lay their spawn in the swamp stubble of last year's crops. Soon tadpoles hatch with long tails, plump, round, dark bodies, and bulging eyes, swimming and playing games of chance in schools, learning to survive in the still waters of the pond, changing with each day so quickly into something different that's unrecognizable, stronger, smarter, faster, bigger, with a hunger for independence and an instinct of natural loyalty to return to the marsh as the waters recede from the fields, where new crops will be planted this spring. Thank you. Appreciate it, everyone.
Thank you so much. I think Elemen2al has a little trouble with his on the text side, so I'm going to ask everyone to unmute. Go ahead and give up.
Barbie, DG. Great.
Oh, thank you.
Woo.
It's spring here, so the fields are flooding.
Wow.
Thank you so much, DJ. You're amazing. Hold on, let me mute everyone and let me see. Elemen2al, is your mic back on? Yes, it is.
Of course. Listen. This is just another reason why our community is just so incredible, right? Because DG Clearing is a member of it, right? And we get to experience a poem like that. But listen, if you're not familiar with DG Clearing, our very own cheesehead, make sure you are plugging in. One time, real quick, please unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
RMT.
Thank you.
Every last OE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron.
You're very welcome, everyone. It's always a pleasure to work for you guys. Thank you, community. Appreciate it.
Listen, this is just what Ron does. Like, really. Shout out Queen Ray Jane. Make sure you are plugging into Thunder Lung Thursdays. It is truly a vibe. Let me tell you, it's truly a vibe. Let's get back to this, y'all. Coming up next, this gentleman is cool as the other side of the pillow, baby. Let me tell you, whether it's in Zoom or in real life, shout out to Gray Beards in the building. The one and only Complicated Passions is here, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Complicated. It's always great to see you. Take it away.
Thank you, and good evening to everyone. You can find me here on Mondays and on Thursdays because they're both dope shows. I'm gonna get right into it because, you know, we're gonna be in overtime today. I could feel it, so check it out. She's a Gemini. I'm thinking, it's something I want to do. I had dreams of the moments I said no to. I know it's a sin to think this way. It's the other side of her I'm looking to get into. Whispers of, I want more of you. Like a hook in a love song, don't you talk to me like that. When she says my name, I'm thinking, what you gonna do when it's time to give her the dreams inside of you? Damn, girl. I think it's you. And now, it's the 1st of May. I only have dates. To read between these lines would be a mission. This leaves me with some impossible conditions. Only knowing her as a mystery. The tasting of a wildflower felt like the sun and the moon always wanting to keep each other company. Her aura was the magic I'm sensing. Like a buried treasure, she would be my secret because sometimes that's what Tauruses do when they gaze into you. I am Complicated Passions, the voice behind this pen. Thank you.
Another successful broadcast from the Complicated Broadcasting System. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Complicated Passion.
Nice work, Samuel.
Thank
You're
you.
such a lover there.
Speakers in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Hey.
Such always
That was great.
wonderful words of lovers.
And listen, I continue to tell y'all this cat is cool as the other side of the pillow. I have witnessed him on the microphone in real life, and he does the same thing. I'm telling you. Again, shout out to Gray Beards in the building. Listen, and I love the question that he posed, right? What are you gonna do when it's time to give her all that's inside of you, right? Like when you approach someone, you got to kind of question yourself like that. When it comes to love, you better know when you're ready to do that, because trust and believe, they are gonna want that from you. Make sure you are plugging in with Complicated Passions, aka Samuel Rain Benjamin. That brother does so many different things. If you're looking for an editor or a publisher of your books, make sure you are plugging into Complicated Passions. All right, coming up next, I wasn't sure if I was going to see this gentleman on a Monday night. I know their work schedule got crazy. Their commute is bananas. Trust and believe their work schedule is crazy, but they continue to carve out time to hang out with us and share their incredible artistry with us. The one and only Daniel Fernandez is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can connect with you online, and make sure you are plugging your new incredible manuscript. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Hello. Yeah, I wanted to make this a surprise since I usually haven't been able to come into the Monday events. So I actually got a fresh new poem, and it's actually, funny enough, it's in theme about loyalty. And I might just jump into it. My things are in the chat regarding Instagram, where to find my new book. And I'm just gonna get straight into it because it is a little lengthy. I'm sorry for that. It's actually called Nuyorican Love. So it's actually a poem about the Nuyorican Cafe. So here we go. Nuyorican love. Nuyorican Cafe, Poetry's Corner. Nuyorican love, visionary explorers. We are poets, emotional reporters. We fight with the pen and let the ink be our armor. Nuyorican Poetry's Cafe, the place to be on any day. Like Ron Thompson, I'll promote the events with wordplay. Best producer in the world to date. Can find us at New York so you can rock the stage. We also got online events free for those who can't pay. Time is stressful, so you got options to choose from. Speak with your soul and let the love come. Online events are Mondays and Thursdays. We got Elemental and Ray Jane. Beautiful spirits to lift ours when we aren't feeling okay. If you're new, perfect, they'll show you the way. Just trust. Read a poem for the community to say, one of us. Monday starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thursdays start at 9. You have 24 hours before to get a ticket online. Just pay attention to when the artist tickets go live. Nuyorican Cafe, Poetry's Corner. Nuyorican love, visionary explorers. We are poets, emotional reporters. We fight with the pen and let the ink be our armor. Thank you, Ashagra. Let me shout you out, speaking the truth about life and to not let myself down. I lost hope, I won't lie, and gave up somehow. Life swallowed me, and I just couldn't get out. The community in general, thanks for including me. Personally helped and saved me from mental injury. Sleep deprivation kicked in, and I lost clarity. Suicide roamed my head, and I was scared to breathe. Shout out to all the poets. Everyone is dope. Skills that can outshine even my own. Keep an eye out like a periscope. Nuyorican love, let it run through the bones. Fear and guilt are sisters. Violence just keeps coming like paper from printers. We smile but die inside because of the demons who whisper. No, not anymore. We shine like crystals. People care when it's convenient, but not us poets. We cherish the bravery of what our souls represent. Neglect the pain to write and have misery go against. Love everyone equally because we know how life can torment. Nuyorican Cafe, Poetry's Corner. Nuyorican love, visionary explorers. We are poets, emotional reporters. We fight with the pen and let the ink be our armor. We got Deadpan Lizzie, starting off glorifying the night. A collection of wonderful books on books. Yeah, that's right. Ed Flametastic, burning the internet like a Molotov might. Michael Sindler, a blacksmith who can write. Check out lighthousewriters.org tonight. Joski, blessing our ears with beautiful chords and soothing voice. Messiah teaches us with powerful word choice. Nemo describing pain in ways even agony can't. It touches the heart, making you think, goddamn. Subject matter, thank you. I hear you in the background. Keep the pen moving. You too, my friend. Our pages weigh 1,000 pounds. Adam is making music with fantastic poetry on the side. Mr. Tez speaks the truth, twisting language with pride. Bill and his wonderful guitar. Generalissimo, words from a legend. I am honored I've made it this far. We got Gustav spreading the love like butter, showing empathy from one person to another. From propaganda to Ashagra, to the pen, to the stage, to Zoom, we support the love. Samuel, smoother than a jazz session. Unmesh, an international beast with his own poetry session. We got Jeff with great delivery, voiced volume with her unique personality. Every single poet deserves their own trophy, saving the heart from destruction like a goalie. Nuyorican Cafe, Poetry's Corner. Nuyorican love, visionary explorers. We are poets, emotional reporters. We fight with the pen and let the ink be our armor. We all love those who are happy because we want to be happy ourselves. Dance with our dreams as we jump between realms. Kiss an opportunity, praying it won't swell. As our innocence bubble up, getting overwhelmed. The music you like changes your perspective on the world. Just be optimistic and stay alert as you observe. For those who don't know me, I am Daniel Fernandez, a poet and dreamer, you see. I live for my ambition, hoping writing will help me achieve. Help people feel for those who are afraid to believe. I have a book filled with personal decor available on Amazon so that the transaction is secure. Let the ink bleed so that you can preserve yours. I almost forgot. It's called emotional defibrillator. I also go by EPOV, a rapper who craves the need to succeed, feed entertainment better than weed, make you realize things are not always as they seem. For those curious few, it stands for everyone's point of view. Elemental calls me Sniffles, and I'll accept it. He's an icon. Regardless of what he says, I'll respect it. My nose is a bitch with unlimited fluids. Can't blame anyone but fucking human. I am still moving backwards in life, just lost a job. No longer working weekends like the mob. I became a liability from lack of sleep, began to hallucinate, and living became a dream. About to lose my apartment back to my mom in order to save and help since our government are snobs. I am honest, so get used to it. Let it sting because you learn from punishment. I tried to help like a pharmacist. It's not being negative, just realistic. Come join us. We are here every week. Help lift those who are on their knees. If you are struggling, we understand the need. We are poets. We endeavor success, literally. Share a poem or two, and I can guarantee you'll fall in love. Check out Nuyorican Poets Café and become one of us. Thank you.
God damn it. Come on. Come on. I know all y'all heard that shit. Unmute yourself. Give it up for
Yeah,
Shit.
Daniel. Yeah.
Great job,
Oh,
Daniel.
that
Good
was
to have you back.
awesome.
Nice.
Good to have you
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
OMG, amazing, amazing, amazing.
Hey, Daniel. So you'll do good.
Thank you.
Well, but we're going to see you on Mondays again.
Oh,
Oh, that was hot.
it was, DG, right? It was. Absolutely. Listen, I love to hear poets recognize other poets. It just does my heart so very good to know that poets are so plugged into our community that they can start name dropping folks and knowing their styles and their skills. That is beautiful, y'all. For real. I don't know. Listen, I don't know if you've ever been a part of a community of poets that do something like that, right? The folks who are mainstays here have heard a few of those, but listen, it always does my heart good to hear our community is so connected in new and inventive ways. Thank you, Sniffles. Man, that listen, he truly just gave us a definition of one of us, right? Like we don't have to say it, right? He said it himself. He is a poet and a dreamer, you see, right? Because poets jump between realms, do we not? Let the ink be our armor, It continues to be our armor, right? And we will allow Sniffles to continue to be our emotional defibrillator. Appreciate you, Sniffles, for coming through, man. Always welcome on Monday night. Make sure you are plugging in with Daniel Fernandez and copping that emotional defibrillator. Appreciate you, man. Listen, I told y'all this is the greatest community in the world, and we will continue to show you why. And here comes another example of someone who we can't help it. We continue to give this dude an open microphone to teach you things inside and outside of his classroom, right? The one and only Oso Lobo is here, y'all. Propaganda Poet is about to step to the stage. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. Prop, always great to see you, brother. Take it away.
So we'll see how this goes. I don't have any poetry for you tonight. I really struggled with this one. I'm not gonna lie. Loyalty. It's a difficult topic, man. So I just want to take a moment to remind us how much we are here for each other, how much this community means to everyone here and what we do for each other. I mean, listen to that last poem that Daniel just did. I talk about all the time how, if it weren't for this community, I wouldn't even be here. Instead of taking my own life, I wrote a couple books, and I just want to say, please, I love you all. Please take care of each other and please watch out, because there are some people out there who are not here for the right reasons, and just be careful. Just take care of each other, watch out for each other, and be careful. Especially the predators that know how to groom their prey, man. Just, I love you all. Peace, love, and poetry, y'all.
Oh my goodness. This is what I love about our community right here. This cat said, I may share some poetry, but I'm probably just gonna drop some jewels on y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for propaganda.
Oh, so
Love you.
Love you,
Take
Pop.
care of yourself,
Yay,
propaganda.
great.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
We're glad you're here, brother.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let us help take care of you
You
too.
are the best.
Uh-huh.
And listen, I listen. It is truly my pleasure to be facilitating this space with y'all, because I continue to say it's the greatest community in the world, and you will see clearly when you watch the replay of this. You heard about Pancus, you heard about so many members of our community, you heard about being one of us, and then you heard from our brother that said that this community has saved his life. And we've done this before, right? But for anyone in this room right now who could make that same claim, you could put one hand, two hands in the screen that can say that poetry in this community has saved your life. Let me tell you, there are so many of us in this space, okay? This community has saved our lives so many times. Thank you, Prop. Thank you, Prop, for reminding us of that, for keeping us honest, and reminding us that this is more than just a poetry venue, but this is a life-saving venue as well. Truly appreciate you. Make sure you're plugging in with Propaganda Poet. Trust me, that cat will teach you something inside and outside of his classroom. All right, y'all, we are coming down to the bottom of the list, but let me tell you, it does not cease to amaze. These next poets will continue to electrify your evening, starting with this next poet. I am so glad that they have found their way back into our community on a regular basis. If you are not familiar with this 6-word Pisces, they are coming through with amazing poetry, as they have for quite some time. Listen, like I said, it is great for this poet to be back in our community. The one and only Poetic Desire is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Yes. Thank you so much. And, you were saying yelling at us, right, earlier and before. I came up with a 6-word for that real quick. So Elemental's energized yelling encourages comeback appearances. So anyways, yes, it's very encouraging. You're not yelling at us in a bad way. All right. So I'm Poetic Desire, spelled with a K, on Facebook and Instagram, and I love to do 6-word memoirs. Put your thoughts in 6 words is very tricky. That's Poetic Pisces. All right, so a few short ones and then the poem. So the 6-word for loyalty is loyalty royalties paid through mutual respect. A haiku, loyalty bleeds love by those deemed as family. Who are you to me? And a short poem of this, cleanse me of bloodline loyalties, purify me with faithful friends, unstain me of disloyal descendants, mark me with truthful alliances. And now the official poem. Sangre, loyalty. Loyalty should be to oneself and family, where blood is supposed to bond, bonded trust and reliability, bonded togetherness and dependency, bonded adorations of worth sought out, bonded encouragement should be given without doubt. Loyalty is a form of commitment. Can't leave, can't delete, can't forsake, and can't vacate. Loyalty is thinking more about others, want to please, want to appease, want to do my birthright, destined duty, want to, need to, sacrifice self for sake of we. But when loyalty to family fails to provide loyalty in return, loyalty to oneself is the most important thing in the world. For I thought blood was sacred, supposed to have the same elements that course through veins of hereditary temperaments, but friends provide better familial attachments than you ever did with your uninvolved detachments. Myself provides better self-motivation than you ever did with your disregarded inclinations. In an instant of wrong choices, a devious, winding path I followed, no longer could I seek your unwavering guidance, now judged and stripped of loving acceptance. Blindly blood dripped, draining me of energy, draining me of sustenance to seek living. You cut me deep when you left me there. At the end of my rope, choking in desperation, hoping you'd loosen this noose. For what's your excuse to leave me hanging in misery, knowing unconditional love seems to come with conditions? My loyalty to this family, especially those of lawfully extended relation, should never have been given priority and upper-handed obligation, for in an instance of disagreeing views, you snatched from me support I once had from you. Yet you act falsely sympathetically, genuine, attempt to communicate your rationale, manipulative adjectives I see right through. See how I have more sensible empathy than your morale. Blood is not as bonding of an agent when it comes to certain familial relationships. Blood only matters when thicker than water isn't diluted into sangria, well, I mean sangre, to bleed weakly and meekly when blood fails to flow strongly, where those of watery dispositions can form more solidarity, take on a changing form, to prove that loyalty only has basis in the form of connections that love without question. Good night.
Oh, damn it, sangria into sangre. Oh my goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Poetic Desire.
Poetic.
Great
Good to
job.
hear.
Good to hear
So good to
you.
hear
That
you.
was great.
It was
Loved it.
great.
Thank you, everyone.
See, this is why I yell at poets, right? Because they come through with incredible poetry, right? She hit us with like 3 different forms in that set right there, right? She mentioned a 6-word, then she mentioned a haiku, and then a free form poem. Listen, loyalty bleeds love. Who are you to me? To me, y'all are community. Y'all are my family members, right? Because you've already marked me with truthful alliances. Listen, this is why I yell at poets, right? Thankfully, our unconditional love doesn't come with conditions, but I love that she even put that in there. She said our unconditional love seemed to come with conditions. The manipulative objective I see right through. Thank you, East, for coming back through, for being a valued member of our community. Make sure you are plugging in with Poetic Desire. For real, keep coming through with it. For real. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, a newer member of our community. Where did they go? I saw it. There they are. A newer member of our community. They showed up and showed out and continue to show up and do the same. I always look forward to hearing what this poet has on deck next. The one and only Eliza Falcon is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Take it away.
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Eliza. It's good to be here. I have some things on YouTube. I'm happy to have any and all poet friends on Facebook. That's pretty much, those are my only platforms right now. And here's my most recent poem, which kind of falls into the theme. To the father of my child, just put on a goddamn shirt. I'm not saying that showing up on the screen without one means you're trying to sleep with me. I'm just saying that the last time you showed up without a shirt, you tried to sleep with me. I said, wait, you said no. I said, not yet. You said yes. I don't think we have ever spoken the same language. I said, I don't think. You said, don't think, yanking me right out of the equation, but Negative numbers still count, and the product of our failure to communicate was this baby. He has seen your face a total of 3 times now. A total of 3 minutes that he has ever heard your voice. This child knows the word octagon, disappointed, arthrogryposis, but he still hasn't learned the word dad, and yet he has already seen you in bed shirtless. I'm not saying it means anything, this choice of yours. I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily not mean anything either. I'm just saying that sometimes old habits die hard and miscommunication is the hardest language to unlearn. I'm sorry that no wasn't my native tongue. I was born to speak poetry, to scribble meanings between the lines, to deliberate over every syllable. You clearly were not. And this beautiful boy of ours is going to have to hop across cliches in a flowing metaphor to speak literally while crying ancient lullabies in his sleep. This child is going to learn to hear both tongues, to respond to each in its own way. My baby is going to learn to be bilingual. So, thank you, I guess. And P.S.
Oh my goodness.
Can you please put on a shirt next time?
I know we just all heard that, experienced that in real time. For real. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Aliza.
Aliza, yeah.
Wonderful.
Great job. Great job. Guy sounds like a real prick.
Thank you.
You're busy on Monday nights now, just so you know.
Yeah, you are.
I loved that.
You are here.
Tell her, Cry. Yeah, tell her, DG. Your Mondays have now been scheduled like mine, right? I have on my calendar, I have Sunday night and Wednesday night plugged and Monday night and Thursday night plugged. So I'm always getting a update, a reminder, infinitely. So I would suggest you do the same thing so you don't have our community members coming through and flooding your DMs, letting you know that, hey, it's Sunday. Make sure you are signing up for Monday. Listen, Aliza, you said a couple things in there. You said a couple things in there that clearly jumped out to our community. They're just like, whoo, did she say that? Yes, she did, y'all. She said miscommunication is the hardest language to unlearn. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, she did. Make sure y'all unpack that. Make sure you unpack that. That's a heavy one. That's a heavy one. Thank you, Aliza, for coming through and being a mainstay of our community. All right, y'all. We are down to the last few poets of the evening. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, a newer mainstay of our community coming through with the Front Seat Chronicles, right? Listen, this poet, ever since they showed up, right? I love that this poet is so comfortable in their situation. Listen, I don't care where it is. If you got to do it in a dirty bathroom stall, baby, you got to get it in. I don't care where it is. If it's time to get it in, it's time to get it in. The one and only Kid Tay is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you and plug into all that you do. Kid Tay, take it away.
Hey, you can find me on Instagram under Kitay_ the Poetic Cat with a K. I have 2 that I think I want to do if I have time for it. So they're not quite like on theme, but they do use the word loyal or loyalty in it. So I wrote both of these a while ago as well. All right. Dogs, a symbol of loyalty, but also naivety. Some dogs are too loving, Some are more cautious and anxious. They're not so different from us humans. They just can't communicate like us, but they speak to each other and to us in their own ways, just like people. We all communicate in our own unique way. Some understand the words we speak, while others are confused. Dogs speak using their body language. So do we. When we are uncomfortable, we generally show it externally. Sometimes we can hide it, and so can animals. Sometimes they attack suddenly, unprovoked. But that's usually when we miss the signs that they are uncomfortable, or because the animal was conditioned not to show it, and then the warning doesn't come. That's not the animal's fault. It's the owner's fault for prohibiting the animal from showing its fear and making them suppress it. With humans, it's our owners, parents, fault when we attack unprovoked. We need to communicate when something bothers us instead of stuffing our emotions down with addictions, suppression, and fake laughter when we are actually upset. We need to discuss these things so we don't cause another person distress because we couldn't digress. And then the second one is about a relationship, and it's pretty short as well. I see your true colors. The empathy I had for you was really for the lost version of myself that I thought I saw in you. I see clearly now that I'm older and wiser, how I nurtured you because I thought I saw my reflection in your eyes. I tried to make you whole and it shred me to pieces. I tried to move on, but it was hard to embrace life alone. It took me some time to figure out I was the one who needed to feel whole, or I would only amount to a fraction in somebody else's soul. If you don't see yourself as good enough, you tend to settle for second, sometimes 10th best, because you can't see your own worth and find the same people in different bodies until you can break that cycle. If you look at yourself and see ugly, is that your true perception? Or is it judgment passed on from others that you have inhabited because you believe those lies? True beauty lies within. What's kept on our skeletons will one day rot away. Nothing to remain except the words you utter and the love you poured into others. Beauty doesn't leave a mark on this world, but loving, giving, nourishing, being loyal to serving and helping others will, as do the negative emotions and things we do also. Those are the imprints that we create. The body and face is just a mask for the greatness that lies underneath. Extend your love inwards, and you will see what happens when you learn to erase the negative feedback you have been force-fed and were once made to believe tasted good. Also, so as for the theme, and that was the end of my poem. As for the theme, I think that the person that you need to be the most loyal to in this world is always going to be yourself. Nurture yourself, because if you are not helping yourself, you cannot help others. But thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
I mean, that's something my father always told me. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kate.
Great job, Kate.
Put it down. Listen, I am always here for the Car Chronicles, Kate. All right, I am here for it. Right, front seat, back seat, seat belt. Otherwise, I'm here for it, right? Because it continues to bring fire, right? And I appreciate again the vulnerability that you bring to your poems, right? Because a lot of times, like you mentioned, right, we speak using our body language. Indeed, we do, which is another reason why I ask y'all to turn your cameras on, right? Because so much of our speech is used in body language, right? So please make sure you're turning your cameras on. As Kate said, I see clearly now, right? I see your true colors because it all comes through in your aura with with which you produce your poetry and you share it with us, right? So many times, and I'm sure so many of us could say, oh, I thought I saw the reflection, my reflection in your eyes. What? Nah, it was just their reflection of someone else. Truly. Unfortunately, and maybe thankfully, it wasn't you, because now you're on this side of it, able to share your incredible poetry with us. Thank you, Kate, for being a valued member of our community. All right, y'all. We got the final 3 poets coming up, and they are going to bring us home with style. Starting first, make sure you are standing at the position of tension when you salute this gentleman. Listen, 757, stand up, guerrilla poets in the building, gray beards in the building. This gentleman continues to do it internationally, state to state. This is the one and only Mr. Speaker in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Mr. Speaker. Always great to see you, brother. Take it away.
I'm available on Thursdays and Mondays, right here on the Zoom. All right, let's go. Rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, we have the challenger from parts unknown, and one of the contenders, and one of the #1 things you need for a happy home. This contender is critical, and for complete happiness, listen to me. Please put your hands together and let me hear it for the undefeated challenger, Loyalty. And in the opposing corner, we have the reigning leader from on high above, the undisputed, undefeated, untied champion of the world, Love. This is a historic bout, as either of these contenders could make a relationship stumble. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats and let's get ready to rumble. Loyalty comes out swinging with lethal, levitating lefts and rights of righteousness. Love was on the defensive, blocking blows while everybody was watching this. Loyalty pressed the attack with hits of honor, followed by rights of respect. Love bobbed and weaved, using compassion as a shield to deflect. Exhausted, Loyalty looked at Love and threw a devastating blow. Loyalty said, there is no possible way for you to have a loving relationship without me, you know. Love hit Loyalty with the Bible repeatedly, and this is what was heard. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Now that is written word. Love endures long. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy, is not jealous, does not boast. So get in line. Love bears, believes, hopes, endures all things, which is a must. Love is not conceited, is not rude, never fails, unlike loyalty or trust. Dazed and confused by these biblical combination, Loyalty fell apart. Love then said, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. God is love, so be loyal to him and you would never fall. And still the undefeated champion of the world, because love conquers all.
You see? You see what I'm saying? This dude brings us a damn boxing match. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker brings in the punches. Yes, yes, hard hitting there. Love it.
That was great. Thank you.
So I have a question then, Mr. Speaker. Would that make me Mills Lane? If this is a boxing match, would that make me referee? I'm just saying, again, make sure you are standing at the position of attention when you salute that cat. Rumble, young man, rumble, right? I love how he set that up, right? The undefeated challenger in this corner, Loyalty. Like, come on, man. right? Are you like the Black Michael Buffer or something? Like, come on, man. You can't do that. Again, folks, I'm telling y'all, this is why this is first of all, the greatest community in the world. Secondly, the hypest night of the week. And we continue to show you why the other days of the week are so envious of what we do on Monday night, y'all. Believe it. All right, final two poets of the evening coming up next. This incredible gentleman continues to share his energy with us, has been for quite some time. I love to hear and feel this dude's energy crazy early where he is on his side of the world. But this is why I love to say our community is truly international. The one and only Unmesh Mohitgar is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself, Unmesh. Let the folks know how they can connect with all that you do, including your incredible open mic. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Hey, Elemental. Hello, everyone. Great to see you. I am Unmesh Mohitgar on Facebook and Instagram. I got an open mic. Let's Unmesh live every Saturday, 11:30 a.m. New York time. Here we go. They want loyalty from the poor. The rich and powerful are always the royalties. People fought wars for the loyalty to someone. People fought wars for the loyalty to someone. Their families are now at the mercy of that someone. Loyal to an idea, person, dream, disloyal to truth. The loyal in the relationship is always hurt the most. Disloyalty never hurts. What hurts is trust without verification. Disloyal people are more happy. They are not loyal to the idea of truth, perfection, and happiness. The person who says that he has been always loyal has never verified his truth. Broken hearts are loyal to pain, disloyal to happiness. Truth is never loyal to anybody. Truth is never loyal to anyone. Truth hurts the innocent more. Truth is not innocent. Everyone suffers, everyone lies, everyone cries. Everyone feels the world has been unfair. They just need to be more loyal to themselves. People hate fake laughter. People hate fake laughter. The truth is, it might have avoided a lot of wars. We follow trends in society. You are loyal to a trend. What you believe is an idea. You are loyal to a trend. What you believe is an idea. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Oh boy. Oh boy. The one and only Unmesh Mohitgar. Unmute yourself. Give it up for
Unmesh, yeah.
Unmesh, yes.
Always great, always.
That is such a good poem. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Let's Unmesh life.
Always a pleasure to hear you, Unmesh.
Yes. Make sure you are plugging in. Real quick, Unmesh, coming back at you. Promote your open mic, please. Hold up. Can't hear you yet. Hold up. Yeah, listen, I got to get this in because he's one of those dudes. Again, this is part of our global community, right? And we are branching out. Again, this is what community is about, right? Unmesh, please.
Thanks, Elemental. So I have got an open mic. Let's Unmesh live, where poets from all over the world come and perform their poetry in different languages. So that is amazing. It's on Saturdays, 11:30 a.m. New York time. So please do join. It will be fun. It will be an experience. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Listen, if you are unfamiliar with Let's Unmesh Life, do yourself a favor and plug in. As he mentioned, there are poets from around the world. You can see the screenshots on his Instagram page. It is really a menagerie of beautiful poets who are sharing from all over the world. I'm telling you. And you might be delighted in how the poetry is recited and received in Unmesh's side of the world, right? There is a call and response aspect to his poetry and the people that come to his open mic that is truly, truly refreshing. Thank you, Unmesh. Appreciate you for being a valued member of our community. All right, y'all. We have reached the closer for the evening, and this poet has been in this space before. Listen, I truly appreciate this poet for being the shining light, i.e. the diamonds in the abyss. When we get lost sometimes and we can't see anything but being lost, we remember that Madi is here and continues to write all the incredible things that they do. Unmute yourself, Madi. Let the folks know how they can find you online. Please show them why you're the closer. Take it away.
Hey, everybody. You can find me on Diamonds of the Abyss on Instagram. The link in my bio will take you to my blog, which I try to update as much as I can. I wrote this today, finishing 3 minutes ago. So as we were, I was listening to everybody, so I think it's on theme, but here we go. Yesterday, I drove through a thick, blinding fog. I hoped it would lead me into a portal that would take me to the places that I visit in my dreams, the places where unfamiliar faces greet me with familiar smiles and hugs. Here they remind me that eternity is a real place. This fog caused me to levitate in memories, and before I knew it, there I stood, lost in my mental labyrinth, which shifts with my emotions, filled with dark alleyways, lined with street lamps with flickering light bulbs that hold the pieces of the souls that still continue to guide me with the light of their memory and love. I soon found myself in a house of mirrors. As I walked down the forgotten corridors, I started to break every mirror because I did not want to see the reflections of me. Images of my past, the puppet that I used to be, the wooden girl without a cricket for a conscience who wanted to be free. I painfully stepped on every fractured piece of me as I remembered that I was a shattered girl living in a shadow world, trying to hunt for the sun, barefoot on hot city concrete, standing in line, waiting to get baptized in the river of illegally open fire hydrants, which was the only time I felt relief. I watched where the water went as it trickled down the grates into the belly of the beast, wondering if it all ends up in the same place that the blood went when it spilled onto the city streets. I was the forgotten Tarzan, a child raised by sewer rats, swinging through life's jungle, holding on a dear life to the lines from discarded Jehovah's Witnesses, children's Bibles, and National Geographic's magazines that I saved from trash piles and used to build paper houses for me to hide in while I treated my wounds alone. Life's lessons built a warrior like no other. I am a walking, talking enigma. My soul is grotesquely disfigured with scars and missing parts, but the one thing that was never touched was my heart. My blood type is the rarest of them all, not A, not B, not AB, not O. It is light, it is heat, it is energy, it is unapologetically me. When I get hit by the fist of life, this rare emulsion flows freely from my busted lip and bleeding nose onto paper and dries into fragments that form love notes from my soul, reminding you that anything can be conquered with love. Poem.
Nah, I'm not gonna call that poem. I'm gonna call that knockout. Mute yourself. Give it up for Marty.
Way to close the night, Mari. Wow.
That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unapologetically Mari. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Like, listen, just so many lines. I love this community. Oh my goodness. She just showed us eternity is a real place, right? Just, you know, when she said trying to hunt for the sun with bare feet on concrete. A child raised by sewer rats? Come on. Come on. Would that make you a Ninja Turtle? Not sure. But let me tell you something. I love how they got the what was it? The National Geographics out of the trash, right? To build paper houses to hide in. I am a walking, talking enigma. Damn it, Marty. Damn it, Marty. Like, that could be the tagline to every single poet in this building right now. I am a walking, talking enigma. Y'all make this the dopest night of the week because you're just amazing. All of you are absolutely fucking phenomenal. And it is really, really my pleasure. I'm not getting emotional. Y'all getting emotional up in here. It is absolutely my pleasure to always spend Monday night with y'all. Listen, to the leadoff hitter, Deadpan, Lizzie, to the closer, Marty, and everyone in between. Shout out the folks who were not necessarily able to come through this evening. Shout out Tabs. Shout out Kanisha D. Kyle Studstill is in the building. Glad he's able to make it through. Hope to hear your poetry very soon. Listen, so much love and respect to every poet who touched the mic this evening. Your presence, everything, just it makes Monday night all of what it is. You make it go around. So we will end the evening like this until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with you. Until next week, y'all. Peace. Blessings.